Welcome back, my friend, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. I don't even have to tell you what I forgot last week, do I? You know right away. Amendment 21-A. Yeah. What if changing one thing could change the world? This is that one thing. Ending the war on drugs will be the single largest and most important change in the law in my lifetime. It will positively change the city you live in, the country you live in, especially if you live in the United States, and the world that we all live in. It's hard to even wrap your mind around the changes this will bring about until you read this book. I think about all the unnecessary pain and suffering this war brought to us all, and I'm just glad I was able to stop it. Just say no, stand with Van Gogh against the illegal prohibition. Rich Van Gogh, 2017. So we're coming up on 8 years now I've been preaching this. Hopefully Travels with Carl will drive it home and get it out to millions of people. Help me make it go viral. Please let it be done. Let it be so. All right, man, I'm excited. It's episode number 12. You know, I'm just gonna say it. It's gonna be a good one. But first, I have to say something for my friend Annie. I'm so sorry that you're suffering from cancer. This one's for you, baby. Episode number 12 from my friend in WC. Here we go. Yeah, I know. I still owe you some paintings. I know. Don't get medieval on me. All right, look at that. There it is. California College of Arts and Crafts, baby. 5212 Broadway Terrace. Oh, it's not there anymore. And they changed the name. It's now California College of the Arts. They dropped the crafts part altogether. But it had this beautiful entrance and a path leading up to Mackey Hall. It's a beautiful Victorian building. I hope somebody's living in there, man. That's all I can say. I hope they preserved that. And I kind of fucked up on the pathway there. That pathway, you know, it was macadam as I remember it, or blacktop. I don't know. I just need to gray that down a little bit. So this painting may change a little bit, you know. But that's what happens. Paintings change sometimes when they're still with the artist. But that's a good one, right? I love how the patina came out on the signposts. Almost looks like real patina. So I moved there in, as from last episode, my 79-80 school year was in the city of brotherly love in Philadelphia. And, I transferred. I had the opportunity. I forgot another one of the ones that was in that consortium of UICAA was RISD. I thought about that because Rhode Island School of Design's got some serious chops, and plus, Talking Heads, whatever connection they had to RISD, makes it all that much more special. But I chose this one. I always tell people it's a good thing I lived in Philadelphia a year before I moved to Oakland, because I might not have been able to handle that. I remember people, just the look on their face, they're like, "You're moving to Oakland? Oh shit." I'm like, "What?" They're like, "That's a fucking dangerous town, bro." Well, they were right about that. Oakland was special, and it still is special. I gotta stop playing with my keys. I know that's annoying, probably, isn't it? Anyway, I showed up there in August of Is that right? 79, 80. So that was, yeah, I showed up there in August of 80. That's right. To begin the school year of 80, 81. That's right. And yeah, it was already getting tough with the cocaine and the crack. But I love Berkeley, and I love North Oakland, which is where my school was. It was kind of like the only safe little enclave of Oakland, especially if you were a white guy. But I mean, Oakland was just dangerous for anybody. It didn't matter whether you were black or white or Chinese. You know, they'd just clean your clock wherever you are. If you had anything of value, somebody was out there waiting to take it from you. That's some serious shit, man. Anyway, I loved that school, and it is now completely located in San Francisco. They sold or somehow got rid of the campus in Oakland. I mean, and it was there since like 1905, I think, is when the school started. It was one of the oldest fine art, independent fine art schools in America, and had some, Viola Frey from ceramics, and had some famous people working and teaching there, and some people that came out of there, like myself. So I graduated in 1983 with a bachelor's in fine arts in film and video. So how ironic is that today that my favorite, maybe one of my favorite mediums is to work with is video. And it's not like the old days. I'm shooting this on an iPhone 16 Pro Max, and finally got finally got a mic hooked up today. Got a decent microphone going. You can see my heater running in the back there. I'm in Carl. I really shouldn't film anywhere but in Carl, because this is Travels with Carl, and it's about me and Carl, and it's mostly about me, and about my lifestyle as an artist, and it coincides with the book 52 that I'm writing now, and there's going to be 52 episodes. Hopefully there'll be more than 52, because it'll go viral by the time it hits 14 or 15. Okay, I'm counting on you, man. I'm counting on you sharing this, liking it, loving it, hitting the notification bell, and subscribing and sharing, because sharing is caring. When you share this, it broadens my following, because I think I need to have 1,000 subscribers to get monetized. I think I have 12 right now. So to those 12 people out there, probably 11, because I probably subscribed myself. To those people out there, thank you, because look at the dust on the top of this thing. Wow. I guess that's not really dust, is it? Kind of. Anyway, this school was instrumental in a lot of my life. It's just like I've been preaching now, as I discover with Travels with Carl, which again, I was saying, it's about the life of an artist, what you have to do to survive as an artist. Unless you make it to the Super Bowl, unless you make it to the World Series, baby, you're going to be serving customers in Denny's, or helping them get the right size athletic shoe, or shining their shoes. You could end up, oh damn it, I just gave away another job, didn't I? You could end up, let's just say you could end up working as a welder, or, you could do a lot of things. I'll tell you that right now. You could end up doing a lot of things to support yourself. And it made me who I am. And it makes it an interesting story, because, I was thinking about that this morning, how people come in and out of our lives. Jobs come in and out of our lives. Relationships come in and out of our lives. Maybe you have some big shows, performances, different things that maybe it's a medical issue, right? different things create like chapters in our life, like periods of time that there's no denying that, you know, this baby here from 1980 to 83, actually 84, yeah, no, 83, that was just like a substantial chunk of time and focus. I was very focused on film and video, and I often wonder, you know, like, what could we have done with that music if we had formed a band, if we had gone to LA after I graduated? Okay, that's probably, you know, I eventually moved to LA, but not at the right time or for the right reason. Well, I mean, it was for the right reason at the time, but I wonder what would have happened if I'd have moved there in 1984, because 1983 was the year that MTV started. So, and I don't want to give away my next job, because I'm going to talk a lot about music videos in the next one. And the next episode is 13. The next episode is 14. And you know where we're going to be for episode 15? That's right, we're going to be in Portugal on our cherry farm, baby. You and me, and hopefully thousands of subscribers. Now, I don't want to talk too much about the farm, because, well, I guess I can, because it's not one of the jobs yet. But I guess I can just feel free to talk about it, can't I? It doesn't have any cherry trees on it yet, okay? There might be an accidental cherry tree growing there somewhere. But we're going to explore that and see what we got there. The land is divided into 2 parcels. Did I finish with what I was saying about arts and crafts? Did I finish about what this show is all about? I think I did. I'll talk for a minute about Portugal, and then I'll get back to today's episode. But this land has a stone ruin on it, which was really a big attraction to me. Okay, I wanted to have enough land that I could try and grow about 1,000 cherry trees to start. I'm going to want more than that, but 1,000 cherry trees is a good start, because that's 10,000. Okay, these are rough numbers. Okay, it all depends on everything. It depends on the weather, whether you had a lot of bees over there pollinating your trees, how much rain did you get, did it get cold enough over the winter, because all these things affect cherry output. Okay, but I want to start out with roughly 1,000 trees, because that's around 10,000 kilos of cherries if everything goes well. You get about 10 kilos per tree, maybe more, maybe less. That's about it. That's about average, though. And so, you know, you get 10,000 kilos, $5 a kilo. That's $50,000 wholesale. Okay, gonna pay some people to pick. Going to pay some people to prune, and don't worry, I'll be out there picking and pruning too, like a mofo. I love it, man. I feel like I'm 18. I still feel the same as when I was 18, and I know that's not true, and I know that's not fact, but that's how I feel. So feelings and facts can be quite different. But I'm going to be there. You're going to be there with me. Episode 15 is going to be filmed in Val de Per. Oh man, I was so close to nailing that. Val de Perez, which is Valley of Pleasure. And I just think it's ironic that I end up buying a farm in the Valley of Pleasure. I spent most of my life chasing the Valley of Pleasure. Okay, one way or another, I'm always looking for a good time. So what I love about it is I'll be flying into London on British Airways, taking a short hop over to Lisbon, and then I'll be boarding a train right there. I won't even be doing any sightseeing in Lisbon except for maybe a few hours. Then I'm going to jump on that train. It's about a 3-hour ride to Fundão, which is in central Portugal, about an hour from the Spanish border. You got Porto to the north, Lisbon to the south, and Fundão is kind of like a straight line to the east. And it is like one of the agricultural hubs of the central Portugal farmland, where they grow an enormous amount of food that I don't even know how far it gets exported, but a lot gets exported. Okay, and of course a lot gets consumed right there, but I'll be contributing, I hope. No, I know I will, because I got some excellent teachers over there. Joseph and Andre, yes, I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Whew, that's crazy. Just a couple of weeks I'll be burning into London Heathrow, man. That's wild. Yeah, I never thought I wasn't sure I'd ever see the day. But I figured out a way to live half my time in Europe and half my time here and triple what I was going to get from my Social Security. I mean, it's not going to change what I get from my Social Security, but it's going to triple my lifestyle, my income, my passive income, because growing cherries is almost passive income, because the trees, they do all the hard work. Okay, I couldn't make one cherry on my own. No, it's those trees, man. You know, God or the Creator or whoever or whatever you believe in, you know, can't make a cherry on your own. I don't care how cool you are, you know. So anyway, that's going to happen. That's going to be episode 15, and I'm trying to get Joseph to consider the idea of filming me on the farm that I just bought with him and Andre, because they already agreed they're going to go over there with me. And I didn't finish this thought, but they're going to go over there and investigate half of the land with me, because on one side of the dirt road that leads to the farm, which I love it, it's actually a dirt road that gets to the farm, you know, which for years were horse and buggies going up and down that road, or donkeys and buggies, that's it, for hundreds of years. Anyway, that farm used to grow olives and grapes. And we know that because one of the women who owned half of the farm is still alive. And she remembers being there as a little girl, picking grapes, getting ready to make some wine. But the stone ruin is on one side, and the land that's over there is terraced, and it's all ready to plant. So I'm going to try and make plans to plant that and get that ready, to have irrigation run to the trees. Not while I'm there, because they're not going to need it until the summer or the late spring. I'm only gone for a week this time. But on the other side of that dirt track, the other half of the farm is now turned into a forest, because the farm has stood there abandoned for 50 years. The stone ruin has no roof on it, but the granite walls are this thick, you know, like, I don't know, 1.5 feet thick, solid granite. Beautiful. I don't even have any idea how they built that, but I'm going to research it because I want to know. Don't know if the Romans taught them how to do that, or if the Portuguese taught the Romans how to do that shit. But they worked together pretty impressively. And so we're going to explore the other half of the farm, and then I'm going to tag the trees that I want to keep, which is going to be anything that's beautiful, indigenous, or bears fruit, or makes money. And then all the other trees, like the mimosa, the eucalyptus, all the other trees that are just in the way and using up air, they're coming down. And I'm going to mill that lumber myself. Well, I'm not going to mill it, but I'm going to get a portable mill over there. I'm going to cut that lumber from my own land and use it to build a second floor on the stone ruin. So the stone ruin, I think I'm going to have to put a picture of that up there. Or maybe I can just put a link to the YouTube. But it's, it's got all 4 walls are beautiful, no windows, just a front door. So the way, because the roof used to go like this area right here, I'm going to put windows in there. So you're going to have a row of windows on each side. It's going to look like Frank Lloyd Wright had something to do with this house when I'm done. And then on the top of that, second story is going to be all wood. And hopefully I'm going to be able to get enough wood from this hillside, and then probably a year from now, we'll cover that hill on cherry trees as well and run water from the well under the road and up the hill. Unless there's a water source up there, because we don't know yet. These guys have never explored that. So we're going to make the first, we're going to hike that area together. So you'll get to go with us. You'll get to see that land 2 weeks and 3 weeks from today. Yeah, 3 weeks from today. That's right. I'll be filming in Portugal. Can't even tell you what that means to me, because all the time I've been studying art, which is my whole life, most of the art that I've been studying or care about is American art and European art. And that's not, no disrespect meant to any other country, because every country is beautiful. I got something positive to say about almost every country. Because it's not the politics that makes up the country, it's the people and the geography, right? You can't blame the people because they have a fucking dictator running or fucking up their country like we do, because it's not their fault entirely. Okay, they might have some responsibility, some involvement in that, but the world itself is spectacular. It's beautiful. But I want to see Europe more than anything else. And that's for a couple of reasons. But the number one reason is the art. I want to go to every art museum in Eastern Europe and Western Europe, time permitting, because the clock is running, okay? My clock is running. Our clocks are all running. And I got to see as much as I possibly can before they punch my ticket. So it's so funny. Yesterday I spent all day over here in the rain trying to sell my Jeep Comanche, and I had a guy that was real serious about it. Came over. He wanted me to give him a special viewing because I was going to show people today from noon until 2. And I thought, hey, I'll film episode 12 while I wait for them to get here. And today, out of 30 people that are interested in this, not one person has messaged me. So, and it's not raining right now. And God, it was raining yesterday, and we're out there, showing off the Jeep in the rain. But I don't have to sell it before I go. I want to sell it just because I want one less car in my driveway when I come home. Obviously, selling the BMW motorcycle this time of year here in Washington, it'd be a different story if I was in Miami or Hawaii, right? If I was in Key West, you can ride a motorcycle year-round. And maybe, in Southern California too, in LA, you sure can. And not here. Anyway, I just wanted to say, Travels with Carl it's kind of ironic that my bachelor's degree is in film and video, and let me tell you, if you can imagine that our editing machine for our school costs $250,000. It was a Sony 3/4-inch deck. I had a Bolex 16mm camera, or a Bull U. Sorry, I had a Bull U 16mm camera. And it actually had a crank, had a wind up on it, and but it had an intervalometer too, so you could do animation with it. It was a badass little camera. But what I'm getting at is this iPhone 16 that I have is like broadcast quality. Our whole all the equipment for our college at the end of the day was, you could barely get something that was broadcast quality. And I'll get more into that next episode when I talk about music videos, because I was almost there. I was that close. It's a holiday in Cambodia, man. And I should have gone to LA. It's okay, though. You know, because if I'd have gone to LA, who knows what would have happened to me, right? I might have gotten caught up in some gang banging. You know, I could have been shot, you know, innocently, doing my own thing. You know, shooting some gangster rap video or something. You know, but you can't change the past. That's one thing I have learned. You shouldn't even dwell on it. And I say that guardedly, because this whole program is about my past. But I'm hopeful that it's in a celebratory way, and in a way for me it's reflective. It's almost a memoir, an autobiography, but looking at my life as an artist and through film and video, through YouTube, and through fine art, through painting, and through writing, because there's going to be every job, every painting has a short story that goes with it. Okay, to me, storytelling, and that's probably my love for film and video, is because storytelling. And once again, my hat, if I had one on, I'd take it off for Quentin Tarantino, my main man. I'm 67. Sure, there's other great ones out there, you know, that I love, other great filmmakers and artists and musicians, but Tarantino, man, I love you, bro. My hat's off to you. Woo! Now that's storytelling. Okay, I'm going to end it right there. Once again, love you, Annie. Let's ride.
Surrounded by the beast, the birds and the breeze, his motorhome.